Well, we have the Srinivasan, Vice Chairman and Managing Director of Take Solutions now joining in. Srinivasan, to begin with, how was the first quarter in terms of demand and the life science space?
Well, the first quarter board meeting is due only on the 10th of August, so I don't think the numbers are out yet. But overall, I had indicated even earlier that we came off a very strong order book on 31st March. And we are anticipating a growth of 23-24% organic this year. So that trend will continue. It's been a very buoyant business year for us so far.
Right. Mr. Srinivasan, again, the second question for us would be what has been the major client addition which you have seen, net client addition, and if there is any sort of client exit, if it has, in terms of major client. But broadly, what is the net client addition? How's the pipeline looking to you in terms of the quarter, and also in terms of the entire sort of supply chain segment, how is it looking to you?
See, first, I think you need to understand that much of our business actually comes from repeat business with existing clients. So, in a general sense, more than 90% of our business is repeat business from existing clients. So, we're not so much reliant on net client addition, though there's been a significant uptick in new clients, especially in the small and medium pharma segment that have joined the list. The order book is looking healthy. The supply chain business, we had already indicated that would be kind of flattish. So that's what we expect out of the supply chain business for the year.
Right. You want to also talk to us about demand traction that you're seeing within the regulatory and safety segment in the life science space, Srinivasan?
Yeah, so most regulators are coming with new updated regulations. It's not only the FDA or the EMEA, but all medicinal agencies, be it Canada, Japan, the Indian regulatory agency, the Chinese FDA. There are a plethora of regulations, and the impact of that is an uptick in demand. So the product lifecycle management, the number of submissions to be made kind of goes up. So it's a steady increase in the regulatory framework and a consequent demand on that. Safety actually pertains to two aspects. One is routine reporting, which happens. And the other is if there are any adverse events. So that's a really topical one. You can't index in demand except for the routine safety reporting which you need to be doing to the regulatory agencies. But overall, the total pie of pharma R&D is growing up, especially in the small and medium pharma segment, where the core phase 1 and phase 2 trials are taking place. So that's an industry that's growing in double digits. And if the clinical business goes at that pace, the regulatory and safety, it's only a derived demand. So they're also registering pretty strong growth rates.
Srinivasan, give me a sense of what your current order book mix is and what's the outlook on margins as well, internationally and locally, of course.
So the order book, as stated on 31st March, was about $190 million. And while the numbers for the quarter aren't ready, but we would think that there would be an uptick in the order book. In terms of margins, I think we will be around the 20% EBITDA margin. Between 19.5% and 20% would be our EBITDA margins.
Also, any acquisition plans that you have?
Yeah, we are in conversations with at least half a dozen companies. They are in different stages of conversation. We are very keen to do an acquisition and do an expansion in the North American market. But there is nothing at a stage at which I would say that it is imminent.
Also, I mean, clearly you are keen to make an acquisition. So give me a sense of timeline in terms of what you're working internally with to go out and make these acquisitions, and what is the likely size of these acquisitions, and of course, how are you going to be funding these?
Okay, so I think I'll start the funding question first. We had already done a press issue to the promoters way back in March. So we have enough cash on the balance sheet, so we will not be needing any cash for the acquisition from anywhere. As far as the timing goes, I don't think it's very easy to predict the timing on this. You have to look at the right fit of the entity that you are discussing, its strategic value, and then let the discussions go forward in a particular way. So I won't say we're in a hurry to do an acquisition. We're certainly keen to do an acquisition, but we'll be looking very closely at the strategic fit before we do. So hopefully in the current FY, we will be able to consummate an acquisition.
Right. Thanks, Srinivasan. Good luck with business, and of course, good luck with those acquisitions that you're currently working with in North America. With that, we're completely out of time.